Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over an easy question that I solved around half a year ago. So let me review it again because it's good to go over old questions. So this one's easy and you can see quite a few companies are asking it. So let's do it. So monotonic array. An array is monotonic if it is either monotonically increasing or decreasing. So basically that means less than or equal to. So 2 and 2 is fine because at least they're equal to. If this was 3 and then this is 2, that would not be fine. This is fine as well, 4 and 4. So they at least have to be equal. Again, increasing and then decreasing, so this is not okay. So let's go ahead and go from left to right in the array. And let's just ask, so let's say if nums of I is bigger than or equal to nums of I minus 1, then we're just going to say, let's call this status. Status.append increasing, otherwise status.append decreasing. Let's print status. Okay. Range, one length nums. Okay, this is increasing, that's fine. Decreasing, decreasing, increasing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this for the opposite way. So let's call this R, length of nums, minus 2, minus 1, minus 1, because we're starting like this and going back, comparing it to the right, comparing it to the right. And if nums of I is less than or equal to nums of I plus 1, then r.append increasing, otherwise r.append decreasing. Let's print R. Cool. So, okay, so that's still a little weird. Here. Okay, this is actually a little more tricky than I thought. So, why don't we just go and say if there's something to the left that's less than, and also less than to the right, then that's false, right? Because less than to the right, less than or equal to the right, bigger than or equal to, less than or equal to the left, bigger than or equal to the right, or bigger than or equal to the right and less than or equal to the left. And then do that for every element like this, because the ends obviously don't count. So let's just go from I in range 1 length of nums minus 1. And let's say if max of nums up to I is, so what would make it invalid? So if it was bigger than nums of I and minimum of nums of I plus 1 to the end, or I to the end, I plus 1 to the end, because it's not including this element, is less than or equal to nums of I. Wait, so this is bigger than, well, let's say if this is less than, then the other side cannot also be less than. Less than, that's false. And let's do the same. So bigger than nums of I and max of nums of I plus 1 to the end is also bigger than nums of I. Then we return false, otherwise we return true. So basically opposite signs on both sides. Okay, let's submit it. Might get time limit exceeded. Okay, time limit exceeded. Okay, at least the logic was correct. So now, instead of doing this, let's just keep a sorted list called lefts nums or nothing, and then rights is sorted list of nums, right? And then we're just going to
So right starts like this, or 1 to the end, because we're starting here, and we're gonna add this. So left dot add nums of I minus 1, rights dot discard nums of I. Let's print lefts, rights, and nums of I. Okay, just making sure. Okay, cool. So that's good. Okay, now you can just say if lefts of 0 and rights of 0, because the minimum is the leftmost value in the sorted list, and then rights of -1 is the biggest, or lefts of -1, and rights of -1. So let's run this. Cool. So, and there you go. Passes all test cases. Again, it's not the most efficient, but I did solve this on my own. So pretty good review. And yep, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.